Hello there, I'm Ian Munro. Some of my clients call me the career guru. I won't tell you what the rest say. I thought it might be helpful to add a few points before the masterclass begins. One, I suggest you switch on subtitles. My Scottish accent might not be clear to everybody, and it would be a pity if you missed something important. Two, there is a short free download of the main CV headings. Look out for the link. Three, to support the masterclass, there are two booklets you can get from Amazon Kindle. One is for people over 25 who have been working, have an established career record, and who need to rewrite or update their CV. The second is for younger people, students and graduates, who need a shorter form of CV as they may not yet have an established significant career record. Hoping this is helpful and that you enjoy the masterclass. A new CV should make a big difference to your working life. Hello, and thank you for joining us today. This is a masterclass for writing a fantastic CV, and the principle behind this is based on working with people at all levels and organizations over the years and helping them to create a CV that really markets themselves in the job place. So today, I want to take you through how to write a fantastic CV for you. And this will take us about 15 minutes of time. I have 2 points to make, really. If you're watching this on a mobile, you're going to be stretched because although I have a larger data show of the text at certain points, you are actually going to have difficulty if you're using a mobile or a smartphone. If, on the other hand, you're using a tablet or a laptop, you should be fine. The second point I want to make is that this masterclass is really for people 22 years upwards. I have another masterclass for other people below 22, of a younger person's CV exercise, and that one will follow shortly with this one. So the first thing you have to realize, if you're carrying on in this one, is that what your CV is your sales brochure. It's not a curriculum vitae for Latin for life story. This is a document that's going to help you to get another job. And therefore, you have to be a salesperson, and whether you like or dislike salespeople, that's where you are when you're job seeking. And your written brochure is what's called your CV. So a CV will never get you a job. That's down to you when you're face-to-face with a prospective employer. But a CV can help open doors to get that essential first meeting. So I just wanted to look at one or two basic general principles. These principles are as follows. First of all, how long do you think the average person gives to reading your CV? Just give that a bit of thought for a minute. Wait for it. Here it comes. 90 seconds. Now, whether you are somebody who is in their mid-20s and into their first or second job, or whether you're somebody much later in your career and you're a senior executive, believe it or not, recruiters will not give a CV much longer than 90 seconds. It's a snapshot they want. They want to know what this person is bringing to the table. The face-to-face meeting is what will make the difference. The second question is, what is a hotspot area of your CV? Well, hotspot area of your CV is the last 5 years. I see so many CVs that are 6, 7, or 8 pages, and someone's proudly written all about themselves. It's good for them, good for the soul. is not actually very good for their prospective customer, their future employer. They don't have the time to look at it. The agency recruiter doesn't have time to look at it. So what they do have time to look at and absorb is, what have you done in the last 5 years? So what should feature most, given what I just said, what should feature most in your CV? And that is your achievements in your job. If you've got a particular job title and you work in a particular sector of business or local government or central government, people have a good idea from the job title what's involved in the job. So they've got a rough idea based on the size of the organization, etc., etc. What they really want to know is, what did you achieve when you were in that job? So what do they really want to know about you? Well, what they want to know is who you are, where you, what you're offering, what is your current or last job. I'll make this a bit bigger to make it easier for us all. What is your current or last job? What did you achieve? What is your background, and how do they contact you? Those are the key areas that people want to know. So I think from here, I need to move on now to some other information in this document. Now, this is rather big, and it is actually an example of the content of what should be in a CV. And if you subscribe to getting a free copy of this document today, then this will help you. But I've broken it down into sections so you understand what are the key things you need to talk about. So here we go. First example of a CV, your name. Now, if you're called Robert, but everyone in your life calls you Bob, why do you put Robert on your CV? If your name is Chris Dean, why do you not put Chris on your CV? Because that's what everyone calls you. A CV is meant to create a nice, friendly relationship between you and the other party. So make it user-friendly. Don't call yourself something that's sort of very formal. The second part on this part is this headline description, 2 to 3 words which describe who you are, and what you're offering. Now, I'm going to show you an example CV in a couple of minutes, which will give you a very good flavor of what this is meant to be. The next thing to look at is, what are your key skills? What is it you're bringing to the table? What are the key elements of what you're bringing? And we need to list about 8 to 10 of these key skills. That's the next part that needs to be on it. Then we're going to look at your career achievements. Remember I said achievements, not all the things that your job involved, but what did you achieve in that job? And then you list several previous jobs. But you know something? You will only go back in detail to about 10 years. What you did in year 11 or year 12 back in history is absolutely just that today. It is history. What you did 10 or 11 years ago is not going to help you get a job today. It needs to be current. So we'll list our previous employers. We won't forget them, but we'll just say position, company, dates. Very simple. And then we'll put down something about your education and training. But you know, people go to primary school, they go to secondary school, they go to maybe higher education. It's not everyone who goes to higher education. Just put the last place you were. If you went to university, just say what your degree and your grade was. If you just got to the A-level stage, just put what A-levels you got. If you left about 15 or 16, just put what your GCSEs were. Bit of personal information. You no longer have to give your date of birth on a CV. However, many people don't mind giving their year of birth. It's not difficult to work out if you know what someone's education was. So I'll leave that one to you. Sometimes people put down their status, whether they're single, married, living with a partner. It's up to you. There's no real obligation. But again, sometimes people like to know a bit more about you. And also we put down some interests, between 2 and 4 interests. And therefore do something. If you're saying that you like Italian cuisine, for instance, then be prepared to talk about Italian cuisine. Don't say, well, I made a lasagna fine 10 years ago. That's not going to go much good. And then finally under there, you've got your address on one line and the mobile number on one line. Now here is a modern style 2-page CV. I don't expect you to be able to see it properly because obviously I've removed myself here now. You've got a lot of text on there. So like last time, what I'm intending to do is to break this down into different components, into different areas. So first part, who is she? What is she? Well, she happens to be Mary Walker. And what is she? Well, you can see that she's a call center supervisor, and she's been quite successful in the job that she's done, or she claims to have been quite successful in the job that she's done. Make it a bit bigger for you. A call center supervisor with an excellent track record of operating in a demanding and challenging environment, mainly working in the insurance and related financial services sector with skills transferable to other call center operations, offering the following. And then what she's going to do is to actually put into this bit some of her skills. And there, if you just read through those, maintaining high operating standards, good communicator, clients and staff, meeting agreed service levels, controlling costs within section budget, leading teams to meet targets, improving operator performance levels, training and developing team, extensive contacts and sector knowledge. So if you're looking for somebody in a call center operation, you'll be quite impressed by what this person's bringing to the table. Then we'll talk about career achievements. And you'll see on here the detail of it. It says on here very clearly that they are a call center working for transfer call center operations, and that she is a third-party call center operator providing services to mainstream insurance companies. It has an annual turnover of 50 million, employs 1,500 people across the UK in 5 call centers. So what's actually happened here is that she's introduced the size and scope and scale of the job of the company that she works for. And then she talks about the job itself. Shift supervisor, and there's a date she was in it, working on a shift basis for a 24/7 call center operation, managing 4 team leaders, each with 6 operators. Now, it doesn't take a rocket science to actually find out what does this actually mean. And therefore, this is quite right for us to then list what she's achieved in that job. And you'll see she doesn't talk about responsibilities, what she does for a job. It's implied in the job title. If you're looking for a call center operator, you will know what she's offering. She says, took over a poorly performing team and won national competition within 6 months. Develop new processing system for out-of-hours claims, saving 10%. Wow, she's a proactive person who saves money. Helped launch New Sunderland call centre over a 3-month period. Inducted 65 new staff at Sunderland. Helped to create new style online training program. Operation hit required call answering targets within 4 weeks. Provided demonstrations of call center operations to potential and existing clients. So straight away, you can see that this person is a success at what she does. Then we see the job before that, team leader. And again, it shows the dates of it. And then she said, join company call center for launch of new motor insurance clients, started with 4 operators and increased to 8 within 3 months. And this time, because we're not going back about 5 or 6 years, she's putting less about the achievements because it's a bit further back in time. Team achieved new business target rates within 6 weeks of service launch. Appointed team leader representative for division and national team leader group. Appointed senior trainer for all new inductees at Coventry. So this person has actually been pretty successful. Other positions, receptionist at this company from those days, receptionist at Birmingham Civic Centre from those days. This is over 10 years. She doesn't need to say what she achieved as a receptionist. It's not really what she currently does anyway, but it's an actual record of her employment. Then her education, then some personal details, and some leisure interests. And it finishes off at the end of the thing with her contact details. So that, in fact, gives us a very powerful summary of what she's actually offering. And in my perception and the work that I do, the people I'm working with, is a very good way of progressing. So that's what she's doing there. So here is another CV. This one actually is of somebody who was in a very senior job, and it shows. I'm not going to show you that, but in detail because we haven't really got the time today. What I did want to show you was the fact that this person has actually, in a page and a half, in a very senior position, very adequately produces a first-class CV. So if you apply for the free PDF of this talk today, you'll see that CV in greater detail. What I wanted to do at the moment was to actually look at where we go from here. And the first thing is, what do you think of the CV layout? Do you think this will work for you? Will it help you in your job search campaign? And the next point we're going to look at is hundreds of use it as a successful part of the job search program. But you have to remember that CV writing is just one of a number of steps of job search program. So what should you be doing now? Well, a nice CV will help you get going, but really you need to buy the book, 100 Top Tips for Job Seekers. This book covers interview technique, networking, dealing with agencies, a whole range of other stuff. And actually, at the end of the day, here's the cost, £9.99 plus post and packing, or if in Europe, £11. I live in Europe, sorry. Or if you're in the States, it's going to cost you $13, all plus post and packing. So at the end of the day, if you visit 100toptips.com, you can either buy the book. Certainly, you'll find a tab there which allows you to click to get a CV PDF download of this masterclass, which I hope will be great to you. And finally, I'd like to say is a really big thanks to you for taking the time today to visit us and to listen to this broadcast. Thank you very much.